Welcome to the show, The Antithesis, aka Education Made Visible. Come with me. Shh, class is in session. The Antithesis, aka Education Made Visible. I'm here with my co-host. We have a couple of stories that we want to talk about in the news, education floating around. Some of them are interesting, some of them weird, some of them we just want to talk about. This one is kind of on the weird tip. Bake sales. Schools are banning bake sales.
Yeah, so apparently in New Jersey, they're talking about with obesity being such a salient, prevalent issue, schools need to eliminate bake sales because kids are basically eating the
they're baking the stuff. They're not selling them. They're eating themselves.
Right, they're getting fat because they're eating and buying the bake sales stuff.
So is it the bake sales that's solely responsible for the obesity?
Well, no, and I think it's ridiculous because if that's the case, what about Girl Scouts? Are we going to ban them from selling cookies? I mean, I just bought a box of cookies last week.
It's too much government control.
Yeah, what kills me is really if you go through the lunch lines and they're saying we don't have fried food, we don't have pork products, we don't have this, but if you go through the lunch lines, it's extremely high fat products that are being sold.
There should be options.
Where did the salad bars go?
Right. Right, exactly. Right. So one of them is they're talking about kids aren't exercising enough. Well, that's the school. You're taking away recess. You're, lengthening the school day to practice,
But is that really the school? Because the schools, if they don't meet the expectations of the testing requirements, then the schools are closed down.
Yeah, but you can still, implement things that are fun and relevant where the kids have to be prepared for the testing. You can still add authentic activities. I think it's punitive.
Where in the school day do you add
I
those
think
what happened to recess?
20, 30 minutes of activity
Exactly.
is not going to lower test scores. I think if time is used efficiently in the classroom, we're okay.
Exactly.
We can still have recess.
And teachers use it as a punitive measure. Oh, if you're not good, I'm going to take your recess away. We're going to read 30 more minutes to prepare for this test.
Right.
Kids, that's not being effective.
So they see physical activity as something that is a reward as opposed to the normal part of life.
Should be a part of the normal school day.
And the other thing is when these kids leave and they go home, they're being, talked to by TVs and tweeting and Facebook and all those other things.
And then here's this other story that's in the news about this young woman who lost 100 pounds because of bullies. And so in response to being bullied about her weight, speaking of bake sales and obese children, in response to being bullied about her weight, she decided to lose 100 pounds. Now, this story is a little odd to me.
It's odd. It depends on how she approached that. Is it like, okay, I'm going to do something about this, or I don't want them. Is it because she wanted to do something for herself, or is it because she wanted the bullying to stop? And in reading the story, it seemed like her focus is really more on being healthy herself and inspiring other teenagers to also be healthy.
Because did the bullying really stop when she lost 100 pounds?
So I think it's the reporting that was a little skewed.
Yeah, and not only that, I think also we have to keep in mind, yes, it had a positive effect, which was the weight loss, but what other emotional implications were there, I think?
Well, that was my concern, but it sounds like, based on what Donna is saying about the story, is that the problem was actually in the reporting of the story. That she did deal, that the young woman who lost 100 pounds did deal with the emotional issues?
They didn't report on that because that wasn't part of the story.
Nobody wants to hear that. They just want to hear that she lost 100 pounds because we're weight conscious.
Yeah.
And image conscious.
Yeah. And so I guess we have to get rid of the bake sales.
We don't.
We have options. The cupcake is okay sometimes.
Bake sales, it teaches entrepreneurial skills.
Sometimes.
Look at Michael Dell. There's a lot of people who, you're learning good life skills by selling things.
Okay, so wait, who does these bake sales and why do they do them?
Okay, so for example, when I was a school principal, we did bake sales to supplement programs that the school district couldn't afford to put in my school. So we had to sell things at school, cookies.
Who'd you sell them to?
Parents, other kids, teachers, the bus drivers, the custodians.
I bought these.
Whoever had $1, you were,
That's right.
I was selling it to you, and we were able to supplement programs to put into place in my school because the school district didn't have any money for
And
me.
I think that that's the real story. But here's another one that we should look at. The school. This story really talks to reading capacity of their students, because the school for the past 9 years has misspelled its own name.
What's the context?
So the
That's
school,
so silly.
okay, so this school in what was it, Fort Worth,
Fort
Texas,
Worth, Texas, yeah.
was named after a woman, and basically they misspelled an I. They left out an I, and they have been going on for like 9 years, just sending out correspondence, logos, school district awards.
How was it discovered?
The family was like, that's not how you
What
spell
took them
my
so
mama's
long?
name.
What took them so long?
Exactly.
What
My
took the
mama's
family
name
so
not
long?
spell like that.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
These names not spelled like that. These spellings for their names.
Yeah, but they
This is not a crazy
it was
spelling.
McMillan.
McMillan.
And they were
is a
spelling it
normal-
McMillian. So they did it wrong. And so one of the counselors, which is to me so idiotic, she's like, well, there's a lesson for the kids. Yeah,
What
that
is
y'all.
I don't know what the lesson is.
Idiotic.
Quality control.
Well, or check your spelling, but I mean, again, so how do you do that? And they don't want. But no, the crazy thing
It is kind of funny.
No, the crazy thing is they don't even want to, rush and change the name back because they're saying that we have to. They don't want to. They're saying, we have a lot to undo. It's going to take time. We have to, basically retract
Have some
everything
big sales to
that we
raise
put
some
out.
money to change the time.
Bam! My point exactly. Have a bake sale. Change the
Here's
sign,
the
get
point
some
that I
money.
was making earlier about the bake sale story. I think the real story is, why do we need to have bake sales in the schools? First of all, teachers are totally overworked. They're totally overstressed with the whole testing. And now we have to add to that a bake sale
But the teachers aren't doing it. The
In
kids
order
are
to
doing
raise-
it. And PTA.
Yeah.
in order to raise money to change the school's name that we misspelled 9 years ago.
That's your bad. But the point is, teachers aren't the ones doing the bake sales. It's the kids and like
kids,
PTA.
the kids' parents make the cake.
Room
Yeah,
moms
and people don't buy carrot sticks from
Okay.
or wallpaper.
And we will continue this as we go on. Thank you for joining us. Class dismissed. Good night.